Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday feast. Is there anyone here for the very first time? Never been to a Krishna temple? Okay, thank you. Anyone never been to this temple before? Okay. So we'll chant Jai Radha Madhava. It's a song that Srila Prabhupada would sing every time he would give a lecture. So I'm going to play Mridanga. Any Mridanga players? Thank you. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanadhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanadhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivanadhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Privrajakacharya Suttara Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrindi Ki Jai Harinam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mayapur Navadvip Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Yamuna Mai Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Sitanath Premanandi. Oh, glorious assembled devotees, oh, glorious assembled devotees, oh, glorious assembled devotees, oh, glorious Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. So I put together a little talk here. Gratitude is the theme for this month. And I wanted to talk about not so much my gratitude, but the gratitude that Krishna has for his devotees and associates. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is right here on the altar, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, those two figures there, how much they have appreciation for the devotees, and Srila Prabhupada also, his appreciation. And then maybe we can end on talking about my own personal gratitude for what I've been given and the mercy that's coming down into civic succession. First of all, Krishna is very grateful. And he shows his gratitude in Bhagavad Gita, but he's also, in his Leela, he shows a great amount of gratitude too for his associates. He comes with his older brother, Balaram, and there's so many pastimes. He's able to serve his older brother, and but his brother is in the mood of service too, so it makes it a little bit of a competition. But there are so many verses in Bhagavad Gita. I'll read one here. Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhaktya priyachati taraham bhaktya paritam ashnami priyatat manaha. Those who worship, no, what's the previous verse? If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit or water, I will accept it. So here Krishna is demonstrating how he's just making it so easy for us to worship him. We can just worship, offer him leaves, different types of leaves are appreciated, flowers, generally with a scent, and all kinds of edibles, water. And then Prabhupada explains in the purport, he expands on that. It's not that this is a list, and we're confined to this list of 3 items, but or 4 items, but it just it's an expression or a communication to us that it's not difficult to serve me and get my my blessings. I'll accept your devotion, even if it's a simple offering. That's the idea. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. In previous ages, Dwapara Yuga, Satya, Treta Yuga, there had to be many, many rules and regulations to follow in order to get access to Krishna's mercy. But in Kali Yuga, Krishna makes it very simple for us. Just offer a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water. Nothing has to be too elaborate. Krishna and Balaram, they engage in so many activities, not just in the Vrindavan Leela, but later on as well, Mathura, and later at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. There's another relationship. Krishna is so merciful that if his devotees want to have a relationship of father and mother, if they want to have Krishna as their child, Krishna will come as a baby, so that the devotee can relish this parental rasa. Some people, they misunderstand and they think, well, baby Krishna can't possibly be God because he's just a baby. And after all, God is great, and baby's cute and everything, but it's not great. It's not God. God. So the fallacy there's a couple of fallacies. One thing is, if God is all powerful and he's all merciful and he's also the supreme controller, then he can manifest himself to his devotee in any form he wants. He's unlimited. So to say that God can't, as soon as you say God can't, then all right, we already know there's a problem in the understanding there. God is unlimited. If he wants to, he can come as a baby, and you can be his parents. At the same time, he's omniscient, and he's controlling the universe. But he can expand unlimitedly to fulfill the desires of the devotees, maintain all the universes and galaxies, and he's still there in the spiritual world as well as here in the material world. This is the inconceivable, unlimited nature of the absolute truth, the personality of Godhead. So, to show appreciation for Mother Yashoda, he would engage in all kinds of childhood pastimes, much like the children that we have in our own experience. So one day, Krishna, apparently, he got into some trouble with his friends, and Balaram was also upset. So they reported to Mother Yashoda, Krishna's mother, Krishna has eaten clay. This is really bad. Krishna's putting dirt in his mouth, clay. So Mother Yashoda was, a little worried about the situation. He came to see Krishna, and Krishna said, "Well, these friends of mine, including Balaram, they're conspiring against me. These accusations aren't fair, and now here you all upset. And in fact, if you want to check, you can check my mouth and see if I've eaten any clay." Right? Do some research here, do some fact checking. So Krishna opens his mouth, and Mother Yashoda is looking in his mouth, and she can see the entire universal form of Krishna, which is like really shocking and bewildering. She's never seen this before, and so this is a kind of reciprocation that Krishna's having with his mother, showing gratitude that you've done so much for me. Let me do something amazing for you. And Krishna would also he would bring his father's sandals. He would place them on his head. A little baby Krishna, as a toddler, would bring his father his shoes and sandals while placing them on his head. So in this way, showing gratitude towards his father. A little bit later on, there's a fruit vendor that used to come by, and she would call out, we've got these fruits here. I'm selling these fruits. Please come and purchase. And she was just hoping that she would get a glimpse of Krishna. The devotees are scheming a little bit how to get Krishna's attention. So one day the fruit vendor came by, and Krishna saw her. And he had seen the reciprocation between the merchant and the customers. There would be some exchange. So Krishna's thinking, let me get something, and I'll exchange with the fruit vendor. So he grabs some rice with his little hand, and he's making his way out to the fruit vendor, thinking he will exchange the rice for some fruit. And some is spilling out. He has a small hand. So he gets to the fruit vendor, and she sees him coming, and she's excited, as you can imagine. And so there's this exchange. She wants to know what he's got, and he holds out a few morsels of rice, and she's just completely absorbed in the beauty of baby Krishna. And she just starts giving him fruit out of her basket, just practically indiscriminately, all kinds of fruit. And Krishna's just trying to carry these fruits now. And she's just in ecstasy of the moment. And to reciprocate, when, not only did she get the small grains of rice, but when she turned back to look at her basket, it was filled with jewels and costly gems. So in this way, Krishna's showing compassion and kindness towards everyone that he meets. So the cowherd boys, Krishna's appreciating the cowherd boys, his boyfriends, that Krishna and his friends used to meet in the morning, and they would go out in the fields, pasturing fields with the calves, and kind of herd them and guide them towards the pasturing grounds so that they could chew grasses and enjoy being cows, with Krishna in the spiritual world. So, and also here on earth, we have the same activities. When Krishna came 5,000 years ago, the same scene came with him. This Vrindavan Leela, this Vrindavan atmosphere, complete with Govardhan Hill and River Yamuna. So Krishna's taking his cows along with his friends, the calves actually, he wasn't in charge of the cows until later. So they're in the pasturing grounds. But there was this uncle of Krishna's that was very inimical. And it so happens that there was a prophecy that Krishna would kill his uncle. The idea of Krishna's advent to our planet is to reestablish the principles of religion. In Dwapara Yuga, it was coming to an end, and this age that we have now is Kali Yuga. It's the most degraded age of the 4 Yuga cycles. So we're in that period now for another 420,000 years. And so Krishna came at the end of Dwapara Yuga to reestablish principles of religion. He speaks Bhagavad Gita, which we're getting guidance from today, and for the rest of the Yuga. So he comes, and he has to also eliminate some demoniac elements, people, demoniac kings that are misguiding the public. It's in the news now that there's so much scandal, so much money being squandered and wasted and frivolously all over the planet, apparently. But these demoniac kings, they would do the same thing. They would hoard the gold. They would tax the citizens and hoard it and not give back, sufficiently. And so they're also acting irreligiously. So there was a prophecy that Krishna would, the 8th son of Vasudeva and Devaki, would kill this uncle Kamsa. So finally Krishna is born, and he's thinking, I've got to kill this kid before he kills me. He's thinking like that. He's sending different people to try to kill Krishna, if you can believe it. So sometimes they come when the cowherd boys are tending the calves, and they just kind of come out of nowhere. So one day there was a big forest fire somehow, and the forest fire was surrounding the cows and the we've just had these forest fires here. Well, not really forest. They come out of the forest and into the urban areas and burn everything flammable. So, but these fires are nothing new anyway. There's this fire that's putting the devotees in distress, the cows and cowherd boys. And so to show mercy on his cowherd boys and save the situation, he actually inhaled the entire forest fire to extinguish it. You can imagine. He did that twice, actually. There's 2 different leelas there where Krishna, you can see him in the art. There's an artist rendering of Krishna. He's got his hands like this, and he's just sucking in all the flames and just devouring it. And the cowherd boys are very appreciative too. Sometimes they congratulate him with praise. Well done, Krishna. Then one day they're going along in their usual way, and all of a sudden there appears this gigantic serpent, and it's positioned along the pathway, and it's hoping that the cowherd boys and Krishna will just, go down this pathway and enter into his mouth, and then he's also been sent by Kamsa, so he's trying to kill Krishna, of course. So it's described that this Aghasura, his mouth is huge. He's assumed this gigantic form. And the cowherd boys are thinking, well, this looks like some kind of serpent. I don't know if we should go into this thing, but they see Krishna over there, and they say, well, Krishna's with us, so let us just go into this thing And if there's any difficulty, Krishna will take care of the situation. He always does that. He's invincible. We think he's a demigod. Some special personality. So they go marching in, and they're commenting that, oh boy, this is the smell isn't so great. It smells very fishy inside here, and it's kind of moist, and it's just not so great. But here we go. We're going inside, and Krishna's standing on the hill nearby, and he's becoming a little worried. So he sees that they're going in like this, and he also enters into the mouth of Aghasura, and he expands himself and to choke the demon and frees his friends from this calamity. There's another pastime where the cowherd boys they want to go into this forest, this tala forest. It's called a talavan. Van means forest. So, but they can't go in there. There's this wonderful tal fruit, and they want to go in there and take advantage of this fruit. It's delicious fruit, but these ass demons, Keshi, Denuka, thank you, Davida, Denuka, we'll get to Keshi maybe a little bit. Denuka, he won't let anyone into this forest. He owns the forest. He's the controller of the forest. And it's getting in the way of the cowherd boys' pastimes. So they go to Krishna and plead their case. Krishna, there's this wonderful tall forest, and all the fruits there are so wonderful. We can't enter there because there's this demon. And Denuka, he's not allowing us into the forest. Is there anything you can do? So, of course, they go to investigate, and Balaram gets involved right away. He starts to make some disturbance. I think he's shaking the tree, and fruits are falling down, and he gets the attention of Denuka. So Denuka comes, and he sees Balaram standing there, and oh boy, he's enraged. What is this? And he comes galloping over to Balaram, and he turns to his back, like horses do, right? Because he wants to kick Balaram in the chest. So that's what he does. He spins around and he kicks Balaram in the chest, like that, as hard as he can. And Balaram's unaffected. These are just boys, You've probably seen these videos where people are being kicked by horses. Have you seen that? Huh? Haven't seen that? Huh? Oh, that's right. You don't go there. So there's all kinds of scenes where people are falling off the horse and the horse is kicking them, or someone comes over with a brand, and he wants to brand the horse, and the horse moves his leg outside the pen and just kicks him. So what happens is the person goes flying backward. It's a horse. The thigh of a horse, right, is huge, and the leg is, large. So usually there's great damage to the person. It goes flying backwards, and perhaps there's some broken bones. But Balaram is unaffected at all. He doesn't show any kind of pain. He didn't move an inch. He's just unaffected, and it just makes the demon even more angry. So he comes back again to kick Balaram. And this time Balaram just grabs his back leg and because he's non-different from Krishna, he's also the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has unlimited strength. And even with the small hand, he can grab the big horse and twirl him around until he loses his life, and it throws him up into the tree. And so after seeing this, all the other ass demons, they became very angry, and they're all coming towards Balaram and Krishna, and they're just throwing them up, killing them and throwing them up in the trees. And it looked like the whole forest had become decorated by these different horse demons. And the coward boys were very appreciative. And they were showing their gratitude for Krishna. And this is in the Vrindavan Leela. And I'm probably missing quite a few Leelas here. But these are just a few that came to mind over the past few days, thinking of what I might say here. And then in Mathura, Krishna is also displaying his gratitude and for his devotees and the people of Mathura. First, he comes in contact with Kubja, and Kubja is she's somewhat bent over, and she cannot stand straight. But she offers, I think Kubja had the sandalwood paste? Yeah, so Krishna goes to Mathura, and he doesn't feel like he's dressed properly, so he gets King Kamsa's clothes from the washerman. He gets garlands. He's getting the sandalwood paste that's Kubja's bringing for it. This is all meant for Kamsa, but Krishna wants it. So Krishna's just overwhelming Kubja with his character, his beauty. He's the all-attractive Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of 6 opulences in full. And one of them is beauty, charm. So he's completely enamored Kubja. She doesn't care what kind of reaction she'll get from Kamsa. She's just going to give Krishna this sandalwood paste. And it's generally a yellowish paste made by grinding sandalwood sticks. They grind them and make this paste, and mixed with some camphor, it becomes very cooling. So you can imagine India sometimes is very hot. You can put this sandalwood paste on your forehead to relieve your fatigue and get refreshed. So Krishna wants that, and Kubja says, "Oh, yeah, okay. Never mind, Kamsa. Let me give it to you, And then Krishna says, "Okay, but what about you? Let me show some gratitude to you." And he calls her forward, and he puts his feet on her feet, and his raises her up by her chin and straightens her out. So he's fixed her calamity. Now she can behave like without this physical condition, and showing reciprocation and gratitude for her surrender, because she's actually surrendering, with the potential of a great negative reaction, maybe imprisonment or something horrible, by this demoniac King Kamsa. And then after the struggle in the sporting arena, Krishna and Balaram prevail, and Kamsa is killed, and he goes to liberate his parents. It's quite an amazing story how Krishna is born. Because of this prophecy, Kamsa imprisons his sister and her brand new husband. He imprisons them because he wants to make sure he gets this 8th child and is able to kill it, before it can kill him. Right? But when the 8th child is born, they're actually switched, and Krishna goes to Vrindavan, Gokul, and then later Vrindavan to grow up. And the 8th child that Kamsa comes to kill is a girl. And he grabs her, but she flies out of his hand. And she's hovering up above. This is actually Durga Devi. And she tells him, she gives him a good tongue lashing, you know, you fool, the eighth child has already been born and somewhere else. So they're still in prison, and this is 16 years later. Now, first of all, they're in prison for the birthings of 8 children, so more than 8 years, added to the 16 years when Krishna, you know, grows up to be 16, and now he's in Mathura. So 8, 16, 24, something around there, 26 years they're in prison. So he's going to liberate them now, finally, and showing great gratitude for their sacrifice, and they're also reciprocating with gratitude for Krishna. So that's Mathura. There's probably some other examples of gratitude that maybe you can add to in the question and answer period. Then there's the Dwarka Lila, where Krishna, he becomes a resident of Dwarka, and he rescues a great devotee of his, Rukmini, who hears about Krishna, never met Krishna, but he just hears about his qualities, and she can think of no one else to marry but Krishna. Meanwhile, she's been arranged to marry Shishupal, which she can hardly tolerate. She doesn't like him. And Shishupal is quite a character. So she sends a letter via this Brahmana to Dwarka, just begging Krishna to come and rescue me, become my husband. It's an amazing letter. And Krishna gets it almost at the last minute. It's very close to the wedding date, and Krishna has not appeared yet. So she's anxious. Anyway, Krishna gets the letter, and he along with the Brahmin, they get into a chariot, and they're going very quickly now to this area where the wedding will be held. So the Brahmana comes to Rukmini and says, "Oh, I have good news. Krishna is here. He will most certainly kidnap you, because that's the way it has to be." He's going in these Vedic times. The Kshatriyas, administrators, the warrior class, the kings and people like that, they would have a challenge. So if one prince was going to marry this one queen, there may be some battle, there may be some fight over her, and some strong prince may come and just kidnap her. Of course, she's generally willing to go. And so that was the situation here. Rukmini is very willing, and Krishna is coming on his chariot, and Balaram's there too with the army, because sometimes there's a battle that ensues. But she's never seen Krishna before. Can you imagine this? And now he's come to marry her, and this is her dream come true. And so she's coming out of this temple with her maidservants, and all of a sudden she sees Krishna. She knows this is him from the description, and she's just thrilled. It's just ecstatic situation. And sure enough, Krishna comes forward and catches her, puts her on the chariot, and then there's so many kings and so many princes around. There's a whole assembly. The whole city is decorated. It's a big occasion. Krishna comes to under the threat of battle to secure his devotee and to fulfill the wishes of his devotee. So Rukmini was very very grateful. It was a very traumatic day. Rukmini pursues Krishna. Of course, Krishna is traveling very slowly, actually, in his chariot. So you would think that it would be easy to overtake him. But as fast as they were trying to go, they couldn't overtake Krishna, even though he was leaving at a casual pace. Because Krishna has nothing to fear. He has absolutely nothing to fear. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Finally, Rukmi catches up. Rukmi, right? Catches up to Krishna, but Rukmini was thinking, but I don't want my brother. This is Krishna's brother that was coming. Rukmini's brother, Rukmi, coming to get Rukmini back, because he had actually made the arrangement that she would marry Shishupal, but that's being ruined. Shishupal didn't even bother to chase after Krishna, by the way. So Rukmi's defeated quickly, but Rukmini is pleading to spare his life. Well, just see, she's in this ecstasy of getting Krishna for her husband, but now she's in this drama, this dilemma, almost immediately after. Oh, am I going to lose my brother? Oh my God, what a roller coaster, right? You go from great ecstasy to great lamentation. So anyway, the situation was, and Balaram was also pleading for Rukmi. So there was just, ended up that there was just some hair cutting as a punishment, and the situation was, the big calamity was averted. But, and then, we're running out of time. There's so many other, there's the Battle of Kurukshetra, where Krishna, just before the battle, Krishna comes and saves Draupadi from humiliation by giving her an unlimited sari. So Krishna is very grateful to Draupadi, because when Krishna was invoking his Sudarshan chakra, when it came back, somehow during that situation, there was some damage to his finger. And Draupadi tore a little piece of her sari off to tie and band-aid Krishna's finger. So later on, he would reciprocate and show his gratitude by giving her an unlimited sari when she was forcibly being disrobed in this assembly. So Krishna came to her aid in gratitude. He also tells Karna the truth about Karna's real identity, that he's a Kaunteya. He saves Arjuna's life and breaks his vow not to fight. He picks up a chariot wheel and rushes towards Grandfather Bhishma, because Arjuna is about to be killed by Grandfather Bhishma. So that was a very famous situation, and from that Krishna got a special name. And Krishna was always trying to broker a peace deal. Lord Chaitanya was very grateful. Sri Advaita Acharya invited Lord Chaitanya to come. Again, this is Krishna. He comes now as Lord Chaitanya there. He's the figure on the right of the two. And he's the combination of Radha and Krishna combined. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahayanya. He's the combination of Radha and Krishna. Sri Advaitacharya invited him to come because he saw that, again, the earth is overburdened by irreligious activity. So Lord Chaitanya comes. Lord Chaitanya was very grateful to Ramananda Roy for all the ecstatic moments that Ramananda Roy put Lord Chaitanya in. Lord Chaitanya would really very much appreciate Ramananda Roy's association. While at the Jagannath temple, it was crowded and people could not get darshan of Lord Jagannath. So one very enthusiastic lady decided to climb on top of Lord Chaitanya and stand on his shoulder so that she could get the darshan. And Lord Chaitanya tolerated that because he could see her intense desire to see the Lord. So he was very grateful and allowed her to climb onto him to get a better view. Lord Chaitanya also entered the forest and engaged many dangerous animals in Sankirtan. He encouraged them all to chant. Even though they're animals, they were able to sing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Lord Chaitanya was very grateful to Jagai for stopping Madai, who had thrown a broken shard at Lord Nityananda, which struck him in the forehead and caused a cut where blood was flowing. And because of that, he showed him mercy. He was very grateful to Madai, to Jagai for that, and ultimately delivered them both because they followed Lord Chaitanya's instructions. He was very grateful to Haridas Thakur, who would not stop chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra despite the government. It was a courtroom, and they said, okay, if you don't chant this, if you don't stop this chanting, then we'll execute you. This is such a great offense. But he would not stop. And so they tried to beat him and kill him, and they couldn't. And after 22 marketplaces, they tried to beat him, and they couldn't kill him. And Lord Chaitanya, the reason why he was able to survive is because Lord Chaitanya took all that beating on his own personal body, so that Haridas Thakur was spared. Srila Prabhupada was also very grateful for his father's love, giving him Radha Krishna deities and Mridanga lessons. He was grateful to Srimati Morarji for passage on the Jaladuta steam freight ship in 1965. He was grateful to the Agarwals who sponsored his trip and gave him shelter in Butler, Pennsylvania for some time. He was also grateful to the Mayavadi Guru, Dr. Mishra, in New York City for giving him some shelter and living accommodations. Srila Prabhupada also showed gratitude towards his spiritual master. This was a turning point for Srila Prabhupada, where he joined the Gaudiya Math. He was a pure devotee previously, his whole childhood and life. In fact, he's actually a Shakti Vaishyavatar who's come to spread this teaching all over the world. His godbrothers pointed this out. Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he said, and in fact, Dravida was sent, I believe, to hear from Sridhar Maharaj about this Shakti Vaishya avatar. It's foretold in the Shastra that anyone who can spread Krishna consciousness or God consciousness all over the world must be empowered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna Shakti Vina Nahe Tarapavartana. He has the Krishna Shakti. And then he was very grateful for his devotees like Mukunda, who got the storefront on 26 2nd Avenue, Brahmananda and Satsrup Maharaj for they were employed, they had employment, so they were giving their wages to pay for the storefront. And Brahmananda got the first Bhagavad Gita printed at Macmillan as a whole miracle in itself. Vishnu John and Tamal Krishna on the West Coast, they're opening centers all over and distributing so many books. And as far as we're concerned, we're very grateful for the knowledge that Srila Prabhupada's given us, the books and previous acharyas and the songs, the songbooks, and all the bhajans that teach us how to be good devotees. Bhagavad Gita tells us, so many instructions, to follow. The Lord Chaitanya comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and 500 years ago to show us how to be a devotee. And then Srila Prabhupada comes to personally instruct us and show us how to be a devotee. So we're also grateful to his example. Brahmananda Brahmate Ghon Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasari Bhai Bhakti Lata Bij. When one finally comes to want to know about Krishna, Krishna sees that and sends the spiritual master. And by the mercy of the spiritual master, through his example instructions, he delivers Krishna to the devotee, to the disciple. So we're out of time. Are there any quick comments or questions at this time? Anyone?
Well, I have a comment.
Oh, yes, sir.
We're very grateful to you, Guru Krishna, for reminding us of all these nice things.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Balaram. But if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be sitting here. You invited me to.
It's Guru and Krishna's mercy.
I know. You must be one of my gurus.
All right, so thank you very much, Guru Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna, thank you.